I'm Stephanie Filardi. Welcome to Mind the Gap, the podcast. I believe many people fall short of living the life of their dreams simply because they get stuck in what I call the gap. The vision behind this podcast is to help you understand how to navigate the gap and in the process, awaken to the life that is waiting for you. It starts now. Let's go. Welcome, everybody. Thank you for joining. Let's begin by taking 3 conscious breaths. Take a breath in through the nose, fill up. Exhale slowly, releasing from the mouth. Again, inhale, filling up. Nice, big, luxurious, yummy exhale out of the mouth. Let it go. And again, in through the nose, filling up. Exhale, release, and let it go. Today, I will be speaking about fulfillment. Yes, one of my favorite words. And I'm wondering, as I say that word, fulfillment or being fulfilled, what you're noticing in your body. Some of you might be saying, never really thought about it. Others of you might be saying, wow, that's exactly what I'm working on at this stage of my life. So wherever you are, no worries. The conversation today is designed to really inspire you to look at your life and to look at perhaps the areas, the foundational areas where you perhaps already are fulfilled, or maybe those where you are not. So I want to share with you before I start a quote, since I am a lover of quotes, and it is this: you can have it all when you love it all. Yeah, so that's really the art of surrender. When you don't mind what happens, no matter what, you're happy. So there is something to be said about just wanting to lay this as the foundation about identifying those things that are important to us, as we have been over the past several weeks with the conversation on values and goals, which is clearly connected to being fulfilled, and taking action steps. And then also on the other side of that, having the balance of letting it go when perhaps it doesn't go your way. So there's that part of really having it all when you love it all, no matter what. So when we talk about fulfillment, for me, it's really one of the foundations for living well. And I use that term a lot. My motto, life is short, live it well. What does that really mean? And I like to think about it as in terms of categories. So for example, living well in the area of physical is having vibrant health. It's getting the rest I need, eating well, feeling good in my body. So a lot of the things where we have talked about in previous episodes. What does it mean to be fulfilled on a physical level? It means doing those things, right? So honoring my need for rest or honoring my need to perhaps eat a certain way if that is what feeds me at that time. So being fulfilled physically is taking care of myself physically. Now, sometimes that involves other people, right? So if I'm having a day where maybe I have to run to the store and I'm working late and I'm tired, maybe I need to ask for help, which is where the other word comes in, which is connected to being fulfilled, and that's the word need. So need is one of those hot topics as well, and it's a word that I've explored in my own life. And I have to share with you that there was a phase in my life where I actually felt that it was not okay to be needy or to have needs. And I think sometimes that word gets thrown around a lot. So let me say this. It is perfectly normal and healthy to have needs, to have regular needs. So the need for conscious conversation or connection with community or being able to have a purpose, know what we're doing in our life, right? So we have certain needs, right? Some of them are larger, some of them are smaller. It's very healthy and normal to have regular needs. At times in our life, we might be extra needy. So we might have more needs. So maybe we're going through a stressful period. We've encountered some sort of loss. So perhaps our emotional needs are greater. We need more love and attention. Maybe we need touch from our partner, more conversation. Maybe we need the help of a mentor or a therapist of some sort. So I really want to make sure that in this conversation on fulfillment, that needs are really understood, recognized, and respected. Because when you start to understand the importance of having needs and just feeling deserving of having those needs met, you actually start to get your needs met. You actually start to get your needs met, because what ends up happening is over the process of you not only discovering your needs and voicing your needs, that you actually put out there, again, that energetic signal that you are willing to receive. So when we say something, I want to have friends who are fun, who are engaging, who are there to support me, who are positive. That's a need. That's a very healthy need. And when you recognize that need and start to put that out there, you will notice over time that you will start to attract that person into your life. So your needs will become met by you realizing it, articulating it. And then, of course, there's the action step, right? So maybe you're going about your day and you get an invitation from someone to join a group to maybe have something that you haven't ever experienced before. And you decide, okay, you know what? I'm going to show up to this moon ceremony or this meditation or this yoga class or this wine tasting, whatever. And in that process, you actually meet other like-minded people. So this thing about needs and being fulfilled is important. And it's something I will be talking more of. And it's actually what I'll be designing my wellness coaching program around, because so many of us, I think, have this idea that it's bad or wrong or selfish to have needs. And even more so, many of us walk around feeling that we're not worthy of having our needs met. And I will tell you from my own experience, when I finally recognized that I'm human, and yes, at times superhuman, but I'm human and that I have needs. And sometimes it's other people that need to fulfill them, and that's totally fine. So I want to go back to the foundations for living well to inspire you, again, to look at maybe some areas of your life. So I gave you the example of, being fulfilled on a physical level. The other thing is mentally, right? So for me, being fulfilled mentally is being engaged in life itself. So that has to do with not only my professional connections and the work that I choose to do and how I choose to do it, but also with the people I surround myself with. So that's something that I need and want to have a very engaging intellectual life. I read a lot of books. I enjoy learning. The other piece about mental is also having clarity and focus. So when I feel too scattered, when I'm not sure what I want to do, perhaps professionally, if I'm creating another program, that causes stress in my body when I'm not clear, when I'm not focused. So for me, being fulfilled requires that I set boundaries, say no, take downtime, do what I need to do so that I can have that clarity. From an emotional perspective, feeling fulfilled for me is really more of a sense of balance. So feeling balanced in my life. And that also means having people around me that I know I can talk to, maybe a handful of people that I trust that are either mentors or friends, that when I'm having times of, where either I need to vent or I'm trying to get clarity on something or it's a challenging situation, that I'm able to express myself, I'm able to be heard, and also I'm able to ask for help. I'm able to really just let go and have somebody else hold space for me. It's not that someone else is going to fix it, because that's not their responsibility and that gets us caught. It's really about someone being there, being a mirror, being a loving presence. On a spiritual level, fulfillment, for me, that means, and I shared this in my book, Reclaiming Joy, it's about knowing why I'm here. So why am I really here? What's the point of all of this? And I don't know about you, but there have been many times in my life where I have asked myself that question, and sometimes the answer changes, right? So 10 years ago, the answer to the question of why am I here was to build a business, right? Now, 8 years into the business of Bronxville Wellness Sanctuary, I'm asking the question again. Okay, what's the next step? What's the next step? So it's a feeling of purpose, and it's a feeling of connection to something beyond myself. So Basically, it's not all about me. It's what am I here to do? And I've shared this a few times is I'm here to be an awakened being. I'm here to help people really uncover what it is they're here to do to be themselves. The other piece that sometimes gets neglected in these conversations about well-being, because I do believe like relationship, it's a hot topic, is money. So financially, well-being, financially feeling fulfilled and secure. And that's different for everybody. So all of these are different for everybody, and they change by person and they change based on where you are in your life. So just a few examples from a financial perspective is something that I find really important is that a lot of times we have goals in life that are not connected to where we are financially. So let me give you an example. Let's say I want to change my living situation and I want more space. So I want to move and I have this desire and I have this vision of this beautiful home, but I have no idea financially what I can afford, right? So I don't know what's coming in. I don't know what's going out. Maybe I have this massive trip that I want to plan. So there's all of these kind of like conflicting priorities. And this is something that happens in all categories of life, but specifically financially, I think that some of us are afraid to look and to see what's really there, right? There's this fear of what am I going to find? And I will say, having done these practices myself and continuing to do these practices of financially, where am I? What is it that I need to do in order to get to where I want to be? That at first it might be scary, and I hear you, but ultimately it is freeing, because any day of the week, I would rather know what I'm doing and what I need to do than have my blinders on. Because if I have my blinders on, you know what happens. Life is going to happen. Not only are we not going to get where we want to go, but oftentimes life dishes us some situations that we'd rather not have, right? So we can avoid a lot of drama. And there's also something to be said about really taking ownership of where we are. Again, not beating ourselves up, not judging ourselves, saying, okay, this is where I am. This is where I want to go. This is the roadmap. So this is a piece that I will be bringing into my wellness coaching, because it is an important part of our well-being, because when we don't feel, most of us, financially secure, and again, that's different for everybody based on what you have and what you need in your life and your resources. When we don't feel financially secure, it's very hard to feel rooted, and it's really hard over time to enjoy life. So that's an important aspect. And of course, if there's other things that I haven't mentioned that you feel are important to your well-being and fulfillment, by all means, start to notice what those are. Having said all that, I want to talk about the other side of what happens when we're not fulfilled. What do we feel like when we wake up every day and we're going through the motions? And for most of us, I know for me, it's cranky. I feel cranky. I feel resentful. Ooh, that's another really charged word. And when we feel resentful, I've noticed that we have a tendency to blame others, right? Oh, I'm feeling tired because my partner never helps me, or I'm feeling stressed out because my boss makes me crazy, or my kids are out of control, or this world that we're living in, what are we doing? And I will say that when we have that kind of a mindset, victim, when we have that kind of a mindset where we feel in one breath out of control and paralyzed, it is a form of torture. It is a feeling of helplessness and powerlessness, and nothing good comes from it. We get into a spiral where we lack motivation to do anything. I mean, what would be the point, right? So I'm being a little dramatic here, but I think some of you know what I'm talking about. It's very easy to get into that rabbit hole, into that downward spiral very quickly when we are not taking care of ourselves. So what do we do, right? Some of you might be saying, okay, great, this sounds really good, but I have all these things going on. Okay, acceptance. So you start from where you are. And you say, okay, this is the current situation. I am currently in a situation where I'm not fulfilled. Okay, what would be fulfilling for you? What can you do? What needs to change? And again, like all of these things, nothing happens overnight. So it's an opportunity. I'm going to use the example of health, especially since so many of us are still going through this Prove It Health Challenge. A lot of people that joined the challenge did so because they felt like they needed a reset. They felt like the summer was over. Maybe I didn't eat as healthy as I wanted. I need a little guidance. I need a little support. I want to feel better in my body. So they chose to join the challenge. And as they're going through the challenge, they're learning about themselves, right? So there's this process in place. There's a structure in place. There's guidelines, there's support, which is another important thing, to help them not only make food changes for the 30 days, but to change habits, right? To change habits for life. So this ability to be able to say, I'm not feeling really healthy. I'm not fulfilled. I don't feel fulfilled in this area of my life. What am I going to do about it? Oh, great. I'm going to do this health challenge where I'm going to learn and I'm going to grow and I'm going to start to change my habits. Because when you start to change your habits, you start to change your life. So that can be applied to anything. So this podcast conversation today is about really inspiring you to take action by simply reflecting on what fulfillment means to you. And for some of you, you might be like, I'm great. I feel awesome. I'm totally fulfilled. And that's awesome. Keep doing what you're doing. For others of you, you might be somewhere in the middle, not sure. Take the time, reflect on what it means to be fulfilled. What does it feel like? And then perhaps identify a few areas, 1, 2, 3 areas that you want to get curious about. Maybe noticing, why am I not fulfilled? So sometimes we actually have to look at why we're not fulfilled to understand what it's going to take to feel fulfilled, right? So something that I want to leave you with, again, is this ability to stay in the present moment, to remember that when you are taking care of your needs, when you are fulfilled, when you are asking for support, you naturally start to build the energy so that you feel inspired and motivated and you feel empowered and you're enjoying your life, right? Where you recognize, yes, I have needs. These are how my needs are met. It changes over time. And sometimes, yes, I am extra needy and that's okay. It's okay. So remember, you can have it all when you love it all. Enjoy the process. Continue to do your breathing. Let me know how you're doing. You know how to reach out to me, and stay tuned for more information about my 6-month wellness coaching program that's designed specifically on the topics I've been talking about in these episodes to help you uncover what it is that you want, what's important to you, what your needs are, your desires are, whatever words you want to choose, they're only words, to help you uncover what they are and to help you make some choices and begin to take action on those areas of your life. So I will be helping you, providing you with a roadmap, working with you, supporting you, reminding you of why you are here. So enjoy the process, and I will speak with you soon. Let's go.